Basically, we don't know what we're looking at here. We don't know what's going to happen. The federal government has closed down 20% of the Gulf, the northern Gulf, to fishing. There's a possibility if we get pollution down here, oil down here, they may close us off completely. August the 1st, our season opens up for lobster, Florida lobster, and we don't know. We're spending a lot of money now getting gear ready, getting our boats together, getting new traps built. We're coming off a really bad year last year where the prices plummeted with the lousy economy, so we're looking for a good year. So, I think most people just sort of holding their breath. We're looking at a dark hole here, and we'll see. So we're at this meeting just trying to check out things, find out what's going on, and see what our options are.
And so we have had meetings with the Coast Guard, and I've got calls from BP as well. So their position has been that if oil comes into the waters of the Keys, and it's identified as BP, Deepwater Horizon oil, then it becomes a deep water incident in the Keys, and Coast Guard passes over command to BP. So that's a huge issue for, I think, all of us. And I asked a commander in the Coast Guard, I said, so we have about 300 captains that are, a lot of them are hazmat certified. Will you coordinate and use our captains to go out and protect the Keys shoreline? And his answer was, absolutely not. He had to say no, because the minute the oil is identified as BP oil, the chain of command is Coast Guard sends the command over to BP. So he can't get us involved because he's not in charge anymore. They only get in charge if BP completely screws up. We were hoping that policy would change, but so far that policy has not changed. BP called me and said, I said, look, I've got divers, I've got boats, I've got captains who are hazmat certified. They know the waters better than anybody down here, and they are ready to go. And their response was, we have our own contractors. I know they used some people, but there's a lot of people in Louisiana that are sitting around, fishermen or hazmat trained, sitting around doing absolutely nothing because BP has not utilized that force. We would love to see that policy change so that all the things that we're doing, thousands of people that have signed up at Keyspill, that they could get involved and the Coast Guard could coordinate our people as an auxiliary Coast Guard force. And my response to the captain was, Coast Guard, right? That means you guard the coast. Well, as you can see in Louisiana, it hasn't worked out so well because BP has been in charge. So we can understand them leaving it up to BP to shut down the oil gusher at 5,000 feet because they have the technology to do that. What we don't understand is why in the world is British Petroleum in charge of Homeland Security for the Florida Keys? We don't get that, and we're hoping that that will change.
Everybody knows about the loop current now, and that's where a majority of our larval lobster come from. They come out of the Caribbean. They make that little trip through the loop current before the lobsters settle in the Florida Keys. And if the lobster larvae are mixing with the dispersants and mixing with the oil, who knows what's going to happen? And that's 3-4 years down the line. That's our catch coming in. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to be happening.
I'm a 5th generation conch, which if you're not from the Keys, you know that means that my family's been here for 5 generations. They came here from the Bahamas in 1844. We've been wreckers and fishermen all our lives. I personally have gotten back into the commercial fishing business recently because I'm retired from the Navy. And this whole situation with the doublespeak, and we want to help. We want to be proactive, not reactive. We're trying to get up there, and everything that we get from the company is that, okay, we're getting our own contractors and such. I have volunteers that want to go up there because we're trying to save our livelihood as fishermen. We haven't had anything of this magnitude in the Keys for so long that I think people are forgetting exactly what's going on. We need to get out there. We need to take care of this. We need to get it before it gets to the Keys. BP tells me, when it gets to the Keys, we'll think about hiring you. That, personally, to me, is a lot of doublespeak. I have another word for it, but we can't say it on camera. I happen to know that Florida lobster has a planktonic stage. That planktonic stage, it's 180 days, a phyllosome stage. During that 180 days, they go through the oil. We lose our lobster. We need to do something, and we need to do it rapidly. We can't wait for somebody else to say, this is what we're going to do. You're already hurt. No, we need to do something before we get hurt.
I believe that it was a huge mistake to put Homeland Security monitoring of the shorelines in the charge of British Petroleum. It's my opinion that the United States of America should be protecting its own homeland and not British Petroleum.